Welcome to a live on one. I'm here tonight. I'm going so slow with my co-host Jin. How's it going, Jin?
Hey, Stephen. How's it going, man?
Good. Exhausted. Excited. All the things. This is our first episode we've done together, so welcome.
Well, it's good to be here. Good to be here. Long time no see. It's been
Good time, long time.
yeah, it's maybe been like 24 hours since we talked. So it's good to see you again. On
Wait,
the
when
web.
was the last time we talked?
Hmm?
24 hours? Did I send something to you?
Probably.
Okay. I send things less and less though, and I can't remember when I do it anymore. So that's the state of my life.
Yeah, your communication is always appreciated and welcome, and sometimes we'll record them for people to listen to, such as today.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, I don't hate Jin, so that's why we're doing this together, just to prove. That's not why, but also B, Jin is a person of structure, and I am a person of unstructure. So this will be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, let's say that. Yeah, but no. We would like to. We thought that this would be a nice, like, little flexible topic we want to talk about today. Since character balance has just happened, and we
Yeah.
want to talk a little bit about characters that we think should have gotten some little changes here and there.
Yeah, just like theoreticals. But also, just I guess a shout out to our other boys. So like life happens and it happens fast. Steven's in Africa today or tomorrow, can't remember. And Nick just got a new arm or shoulder or something. He's either Winter Soldier or I misheard him.
Oh, I've been showing him clips from the game Bionic Commando, and that's an old timey game for the
Is
youngins
that
out
like
there.
Contra era?
I think even before that, like,
Wait, no
honestly,
way.
yeah,
Contra's the shit. So
it is, yeah. You know, side tangent. You ever think about the term like sending someone to Africa? I see people saying this all the time when they display somebody on a
wait,
board. Like,
wait.
no,
Who
no,
are you
no.
seeing say this?
Okay. This is maybe strictly like a European like stream thing for MCP, but I've noticed that I've seen this happen, like, on UK streams and stuff like that. And we'll just say, like, it's like, oh, someone's gonna get like chucked into Africa, you know? And
Is that because like France invaded like northern
I don't
Africa?
know. I'm just like, it's like, do we need to unpack that maybe there is a little bit of colonialism? Anyway, this is a very serious topic, I know,
Yeah,
that
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 is.
we're that we're broaching here. But I always get kind of like nervous whenever someone says that, you
Hmm.
know. But that could just be me. Anyway, I'm sure there's more to unpack there, but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah. Um. That's an interesting thing. I learned a lot about when I was in France about like their colonial. I'm not gonna get into it, but northern Africa was not in Algiers. It was not a good spot.
No, no.
Um. So no, thank you, Napoleon, by the way. Yeah, so Nick and Stephen are out today. Nick did have surgery, so Nick isn't very vocal on anything that we do, besides like coming to record. So, but if you do like have a chance, and you talk to him regularly, and you're one of our listeners, yeah, just send him like a, hey, feel better. He got a shoulder replacement. I think one of his rotator cuff muscles like deteriorated. Oh no, the ball and socket joint deteriorated. So that's just another thing from his cancer. So next year at our cancer event, donate more for his new shoulder. So,
Yep.
but yeah, Steven's in Africa helping out with rabies. So Jen and I are here holding down the fort.
Yep.
Barely. So,
I think we're doing okay so far. But yeah, the other two guys are off, like, taking care of business, either by helping people or
cue
making sure
the theme music.
taking care of business.
Exactly.
Yeah, but no, we shout outs to Steven for helping people and animals, and then also shout out to Nick going through.
He doesn't help people; he just helps animals.
Listen, that I need that man to be around for his family. Okay, so anything he
That's
needs to
true.
do, like, it's we wish him the best at the end of the day. So
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
sad they can't be here, but we'll carry on for this episode.
Yeah, and so without further ado, Jin, because I haven't played. Let's describe your live on one.
Oh, okay. Yep. I got to play a live on one game recently with Eric Arthur. So shout outs to Eric Arthur for being a great opponent and for Nasi for streaming this. But there was an instance in the game where uh, Namor was just in my lines and I was just trying to sort of deal with him. I left him alive on one, and I kept wondering, like, okay, if we're almost at the end of the game, maybe I should just leave him alive on one, so at the final turn we can just daze him, and so that we would
Yeah,
have an easier
take
time
away his
scoring out.
activation.
Yeah, but in the process though, he was just rampaging and just like dazing all my three threat models, like kind of inconsequentially, and including KOing Gorgon. I was like, "Whoo, this is real scary." And what was worse is that he went and patched him up, so he went from alive on one to being almost full health.
Oh
Uh,
man, I was watching that game last night, and I saw when he started dazing you,
yep.
and I missed that, but that's insane.
Yeah, yeah. So I got lucky with Black Belt to bring him back down to alive on one,
Oh,
in a
nice.
in a subsequent turn, and yeah, that ended up being very important for closing out the game, like afterwards. But it's like it's that the tug of war, like push and pull that I have, and just like it's like okay, well, I want to leave you at low health so that if we need to take care of you, like it's easier to do so, because like if I were to daze Namor at that time, I would have scored a bunch of points, but I also would have had to deal with a full health Namor the
Hmm.
next round, and I don't know if I really wanted to deal with that.
Yeah, which actually, this is a random side tangent, but I do want to talk about this briefly, tactically. Sometimes it's really important to think about. I mean, I know people know this. Like some of our listeners are like pretty veteran players, but some, I guess, maybe want to listen to me just rant. Not rant. It's more like I think something that creative players ask themselves is like damage pace. And you're bringing that up, so I think it's a really good kind of slight MCP. And by the way, Mike Whalen, we're talking about MCP at
I
7:16, so suck it. But
hasn't
anyways,
even been 10 minutes of rambling yet.
yeah,
What's up,
exactly.
Mike?
So shut the fuck up, Mike.
Suck
So
it, Mike.
yeah.
Got him.
Yeah. I love how this podcast has become the troll pork roll podcast. No, I say really good things about him. But anyways, I think it is really important to like sometimes like take a step back and be like, do I need to kill this? And like that's another. We should do an episode on this. Maybe we should have done that tonight. My God, like leveling up your game. I think it's another level up. It's like you have your basic level where you don't just always do attacks, and then there's another level where you're like you think about that individual character and like how he can interact with the board, and should you just leave him alive on one? So you bring up a really good point, I think.
Thanks. Yeah, no, definitely like the better I've gotten this game, the more like really purposeful the attacks have become. Or
Mm.
like once you do an attack, it's like, okay, well, what weird pathways have opened up, right?
Yeah, and
Like,
to be fair though, and this isn't anything against you, you tend to play more mission playing teams. So like I think attrition's no, it is still meaningful attacks. Like is this going to impact scoring?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes like if you're not sure if you can finish somebody out in one attack, you have to think about it's like, well, did I just give him a bunch of resources if I just don't,
Right. Yeah. Especially
finish?
someone like Namor who's a 5 threat.
Yeah, yeah. We were on a decent amount of objectives and also a bunch of pay to flips. So
Yeah.
being the fact that he's pretty fast, right? Like, you could give him a power to inadvertently, flip a bunch of points, right? And
Yeah.
also pick up a bunch of stuff.
And
So
correct
that
me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Inhumans have a ton of like condition play
Cr-
besides Crystal.
I mean Crystal, right? The goat that we talked about last
I
episode.
know, but she doesn't give out. She does give out slow. So if you brought, but you didn't bring her, I'm guessing.
No, no. So actually, Gorgon is actually really, like we said, Maddox's low threat pick, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so
The
yeah,
underrated Gorgon.
underrated Gorgon. No, he actually kind of craps out a lot of conditions now, and
Oh, really?
Black Bolt on his back, like the Whisper, just stuns and staggers people, and that's pretty meaningful.
So they do so. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
anyways, this is all a long tangent to talk about your live on one moment, but that's a great moment, I think, and a good learning lesson.
yeah. So hopefully next time we cast, you'll also have an alive on one story, Bork.
Oh my god, I need to play a game.
Yep, yep.
Like it's 10:05. I'm like even considering me like Jen, let's go. Let's end this early and go.
We're just playing a game like as we're casting. Just
I love that move, Jin. I would actually like a thought crossed my mind very briefly when I was thinking about this episode tonight, and I was like, it'd probably be really stupid, and definitely we're never gonna do this. So, but also it'd be kind of funny if we just like live casted a game as like a radio show. Oh, did you see those dice? Like,
this only works if we can both figure out how to say this in a transatlantic accent, you know?
yeah, or British, because
Or
like
British.
watching British soccer is always kind of a interesting
That's true.
phenomenon. But anyways, okay, so we got your live on one. Hobbying. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Well, since you're live on air and it's just you and me, I'm going to finish your stuff, Jin. No, I need money. And so I'm going to finish your stuff, Jin.
Okay, please do, and I will happily give you some money. If you want, I can even give you the money up front.
No. I need the money after when I'm done, because
Okay.
that just feels like a promise that you didn't keep if you get it before.
Okay. All right.
But so I do have a ton of painting stuff I have to do. And actually this is kind of like life involved. One of the reasons why I haven't been able to paint is because I've been so stressed out about this. So for our listeners, you know, I'm in school, blah, blah, blah. Every year in our program, we have to take an exam where if we fail, we get kicked out of the program. So for the past that was today actually. So the past 3 weeks, I have not been able to think about anything, or if I have, I've been so stressed out. It's like a distraction, and I'm just doing it because I'm unhappy. So, I did pass that exam today, so I can continue to do medical things and stuff. So,
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, I was telling Jin offline. I was really worried about it because it was a really, really hard, probably one of the hardest exams I've ever taken. And I like went up to like this private bathroom and looked at my grade, and I found out I passed, and and just started screaming. So I was like in like a happy like release way, because like the stress was over. Now I can just like do my classes and not have to worry about this thing, and then I pass, which means I don't get kicked out of the program. So it was a lot of like things all at once. So
We're glad you made it through the other side.
yeah, only 2 more to go, because I do have to take a board exam to actually do what I'm doing. But you know, it is a good first step and feels pretty good.
That sounds like a later Stephen problem.
Yeah, and to be honest, like this means I'm like on the right track, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So, yep. Yeah, so that's hobby stuff. Well, I'll go into a little bit more depth too, because I want to talk about the stuff I want to do. So, no, I have do you know the APOC I painted for you that I like handed over to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that color scheme I'm actually going to be doing on a full Emperor's Children army for 40K.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so it'll be like these bright purples, like this kind of like really saturated, dusty blue. I guess my APOC's painted like that too, but well, at least now, anyways. But I'll be running a whole Emperor's Children with the new models, 40K army like that too. After I'm done your stuff, so exciting projects, to be honest.
Is this for yourself or for somebody else?
No, it's commissioned. So one of my previous roommates wants me to like do a whole like almost 4,000 points over time. He's gonna send me like he likes to play, right? So he's gonna send me models like kind of a unit or two at a time. So
okay, yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, and you have something on here.
All I said was that I bought an angel on eBay that's pre-painted.
Oh,
so there you go.
Hobby.
that's my hobby, scouring eBay for good deals. I tell you what.
Oh my god, did you write something about comics?
No, that's
from our last episode.
We don't tell them that we're just. Oh no.
Yeah. Sorry, we copy and paste our episode formats, so that's why it's the same thing every time.
We're not actually here. We're just AI generated hosts. Actually, yeah. Like
Jin isn't real. He's just a bot on TTF. Yeah. So neither of us have read comics. We can just skip over that.
Yep.
Even though, like, I do. So one of the biggest things I think we wanted to do on this podcast that we haven't been able to do recently, because a lot of us are very busy. And haven't been able to do much, is like have episodes, and we did it earlier a little bit, but like have episodes on comics and relating comics to the characters. Have episodes on like other games which we never get to play. So keep in mind. I know if you listen to us and you really do want us to talk about stuff like that, it will happen eventually. I don't know if it'll ever happen with any regularity, so I'm sorry. I just don't think realistically, at least for now, like we're an MCP thing, I think. So we're just going to own it tonight.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean we don't want to, and doesn't mean we won't, and doesn't mean we won't with some regularity, but like all, well, at least you, Maddox, and I are all really invested in the tournament scene. Like, even though I'm in school, like I still like read stuff,
Yeah. There's
So
something to be said about like, we only have so much free time, right? At the end of the day. So we have to really delegate and make sure we put in the things that we want to do. And that's not to say that the other topics we don't want to do, but
yeah,
I think this is the thing that's like driving us forward at the moment. So we hope that you stick with us on this journey. And whenever a random topic does come up, though, we hope that you also enjoy that as well.
yeah, and maybe if we have some structure eventually, like we can, like, say two of us play. Trench Crusade is a great example. Say two of us play that once a month, and then we talk about it once a month. That could be something that is in the works. It just takes a little bit more planning, and we try our best. All of us are very busy, I think, is really the issue. And then Nick doesn't want to come on by himself. Nick, and I, when he listens to this, I'm defending you in some context. Nick has a lot of knowledge about a lot of games and plays a lot of different games that none of us play. Jin, Stephen, and I. So he could come on and talk about them himself, but he doesn't feel comfortable doing it. So that's part of the reason why we can't talk about other stuff. So
Maybe one day we can work up the courage. I will say that as a person that has to do like a production by themselves, like in front of the camera, like it's hard,
yeah,
because
it takes a lot to get over, and that also brings me to another point. We want to do RSMP. Jin and I have talked about it this week. In fact, problem also being that like the filmer Josh is only available on weekdays for this, and that's really hard for me. So
in the short term, I did talk to Josh
yeah,
recently actually, and like more weekends will start opening up, but he knows that he needs to try to get that to me like ahead of time. So once again,
yeah.
shout out to Josh, love that guy.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
it's just that as soon as we know, we'll figure it out, and then we'll let you know
Yeah,
when.
and Jin and I facing off will be like battle royale. No, I'm just thinking of all the late night TTS games where I just give you shit. You're like sitting there. I'm like, Jin, why are you so quiet? You sweaty? So,
The truth is I am. If you guys have noticed recently, I've just been wearing my sweatbands from
oh, really?
Squaggles like actually very regularly because I was like, oh, these are really useful. I should just start wearing this regularly now.
The funniest part is like when you're on camera, like you're physically sweating, but like sweaty's an attitude. So you may or may not be that. So.
Mm.
All right. Well, moving on. I just kind of wanted to give that disclaimer. We haven't said anything about our other topics in a while, and I do feel like it's worth mentioning that like it's hard. Like it's hard to be able, when you have a busy life, to be able to even record about games, never mind and play them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
so so yeah, we're doing our best, and the intention is there. So life events, Jin working hard or hardly working.
Basically, yeah, steady as they go. Just prepping for all the upcoming tournaments coming up. So, and yeah, hopefully we'll make a decent showing at them. How about you?
uh, well, as we mentioned, as I talked to you offline about, well, yeah, I just mentioned my big board exam thing, so that's cool. Life's not going to slow down for the next 3 months, so I just have to accept it. So I guess my next vacation update will be one of the events on our list, which is Ironwell. But anyways, let's just do that real quickly. So upcoming events, we have ACO, Atlantic City Open, 6/13 to 6/15, which is weirdly so soon. And by the time this airs, it's even closer.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's crazy. I can't believe it's June already. Team tournament on Friday, GT on Saturday and Sunday, top 8 Sunday, kind of standard stuff. ACO, we talked about it last time. If you haven't picked up your ticket, do it now. It's a great tournament. June 28th is the next Crossroads event in Maine, as well as the Battle Standard event in that's technically Massachusetts, right?
No, it's in East Windsor, Connecticut, but
Okay, East Windsor. Okay.
East Windsor's pretty close.
Springfield.
Yeah, it's getting closer to Springfield, you know.
Okay.
I will like to gladly announce that I'll also be running that event now instead of the store. So look to hopefully having a decent quality event that I will do my best to have you guys
Are
enjoy.
you're running all the events in the future too, correct?
Yeah. So I think we talked about it more, and like at the store, and I like agree that it would make sense for the community to just sort of take back the tournament series again.
Yeah.
So it should be good going forward.
Great.
I think it'll benefit both us and the store like mutually. Then
Yeah, and
it's
you're pretty good about planning, so you probably have the set dates way ahead of time and know when they are. You know.
yeah, and also like we'll hopefully avoid days like this where unfortunately Crossroads and TBS would like have an event on the same day. So apologies to Maddox and you.
Well,
So
no, it doesn't really involve me. I'm basically a battle standard person now, even though I haven't gone there yet. No, but I just mean like Crossroads for me now is 2.5 hours away, and battle standards less than that, like less than one. So
yeah, yeah. But I mean, like, if it's an event that, like, let's say, the New Hampshire guys would show up to, I would love to be able
yeah,
to, go there and stuff, and not have it
yeah, I'd love to go
conflict.
and smack Mac Alex.
That's true. It's very, very punch. No, I'm just kidding. No, we love Matt
Just
Alex.
punch him. No, we can punch Phil on behalf of Matt Alex.
I mean, he'll admit that he's punchable, honestly.
It's true. Cool. So so we got Battle Center coming up on the 28th. Crossroads event also on the 28th, and Iron Weld on the 10th. And as of right now, I don't think any Jersey people have signed up. Oh, Rob might go, actually. I'm trying to convince him because he misses me. So, so Iron Weld, there's like 20 people signed up right now. Get your tickets. It's not sweaty. I think like if I looked at the list and I recall, the sweatiest person there is probably us.
Probably,
So,
literally and figuratively, probably me.
I mean, literally too. No. As you brought up, I have also been playing the sweatiest faction. So, um, but
Uh,
I have worked on a Cabal list that you didn't comment to when I texted it to you. So
that's true. That's because I hate you and like I never want to speak to you ever. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I didn't get
I get
around
it.
to
I
it.
get it. All right. So without further ado, yeah. So tonight's topic, we're gonna dive a little bit. I kind of want to just talk for just to fuck with Mike. Let's just spend 8 minutes talking about nothing. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So tonight's topic is we're gonna go through some characters that like either I guess we thought should have been maybe touched, whether that's a little bit or a lot. Um, we'll see, but thought we should have maybe gotten a pass on the balance update. And I think also to be kind of like proactive and like give people ideas. Talk about like we should also talk about when we're talking about their cards, like where we think they actually still work or might work, right?
Yeah,
Because I think that's important to like not just talk about like they miss them, but talk about how they still work and like where you could use them in certain situations because that gives people ideas to put them on the table, right?
yeah. And mostly like if there's a character that we think needs an improvement, it's because we think there's a design intent, but
It's not
maybe
being expressed.
they're having a hard time expressing it, right?
Yeah,
So, and we have no insider knowledge of what the developers are thinking. This is
yeah,
just speaking off the cuff of what we're
yeah,
seeing on the table and what we think maybe makes sense thematically for a character, you know?
yeah. Because also like we know there's going to be a pass in another year, but it's going to be a whole year. Like we haven't seen anything, so you know, um, we're just going by kind of game design here. But I also still want to give tips on like because some of these characters are like pretty cool, especially their models, and to be able to be creative and even though they didn't get touched, give players ideas. So it's kind of like a follow up to the character thing, you know.
Yeah, yep. Because now that we've talked about characters we think are underrepresented, but we think are pretty solid, we've talked about the new balance pass that came through, and like it's like, oh, okay, what do you think of people's glow ups or tone downs?
Yeah,
Now we can talk about like it's like using those conversations sort of guide how we're thinking about characters that maybe still need, look at, whenever AMG feels like it's
Yeah.
appropriate to look at these characters.
And we should definitely, Jin, as we're doing this, say like why they don't work in every situation, why they may be like super fucking specific.
Yeah, we'll do our best to talk
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah, no, sorry. I'm like winging it right now because on our sheet, and none of this was said. I just typed it in right now. So, but I was thinking as we were kind of talking on air, and I was just like, it'd be really good to give people ideas still to like try to put these on the table.
For
Like play
sure.
tests.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. We can certainly do that.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so
we're
the
just gonna go
idea,
through.
yeah, I think so. If you want, the way we have it set up in the doc, Borg brought a list of characters. I brought a list of characters. So I think to
And to be
keep it,
fair, we kind of did it together, but
we did, yeah. But for me, like, if you're agreeable with this, let's say start off with a character. We'll talk about them, and then we can have you talk about a character, and then we'll go
yeah.
back and forth.
And we're
You
gonna
know.
start off with our characters that we think probably should have been nerfed.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So start off the board. I think Shang-Chi is still a menace at the moment, or it just seems like they are still a very ubiquitous choice for a fourth red splash. Um, and the long and short of Shang-Chi is I really don't have a problem with the defense tech. Like I think 11 health and counting blanks within range 3 is fine because there is
Yeah.
absolutely counterplay to that. The lack of counterplay, I think, is really the 1 inch punch. And that is really the big grievance I have with this character at the moment.
The 1 inch punch.
Yeah, so after you do your
Rising Phoenix kick.
no. So after you do your builder, right? The builder that you can do either a mystic or a physical attack, okay? There's a follow-up superpower that you
Oh
can
right,
go for.
501's fist. Yeah, yeah,
Yep, and
yeah.
it's called something else on the other side. But basically, 1 inch punch is accessible to him on both sides, okay?
Mm.
Which I thought was a shame because number one, it would have been really cool if maybe like 1 inch punch was available on one side, but then not the other. Like that could be
That's actually like you just kind of brought up a really good way to nerf him.
Yeah, because the first ability changes because like the front side has a small move that he could do,
Mhm.
or on the back side he has a healing that he can do instead. So it would have been interesting if, especially since the superpowers are named different things on both sides of the card, that you could have like done a different ability with them instead.
Yeah,
But even as it stands, 1 inch punch is like incredibly hard to like really stop because it's a superpower that you can use to push somebody that's not the original target. And that's the thing that I think is particularly
and
backbreaking
it's
is
size
because
3.
yeah, it's a size 3 push. You just push them and you probably get them stunned, in the process.
Mm.
And that's really rough because you're already doing a 6 die builder into somebody, and that person probably is gonna take a bunch of damage, but then you get to displace somebody and also like throttle their power economy, right? For just 1 power more. And it doesn't
And
involve
then they gain stun.
yeah, exactly. By
Yeah.
stunning them, they don't get their power economy, right? So
Mm.
it's really rough. A couple things that I think could really help it is that the main thing is make it so that you must target the original target of your attack. So that way,
Yeah.
if you're going to push somebody off, at least it's the original person that got attacked. They would have gotten a bunch of power before they were displaced and stunned.
Yeah, because with Shang-Chi's like biggest issue too is if he spikes 6 dice builder, 2 of those going to someone with like a potential, well, the charge and then doing that and then maybe doing that again and then 1 inch punching, you can kill your original target pretty easily. So so
Yeah,
um, with 12 dice coming in, depending on what affiliation, well, you can make it mystic too, right? So that already like you can hit someone's low defense. Um, I totally agree. Like if you're killing the original target, because that's what happens with him, right? Let's be honest. On the table, he
yeah,
charges in, he kills the OG character that he's attacking, and then he pushes someone else off the point who's already activated, and then scores the point. Maybe picks up an extract from the. Well, if you're a smart player, you're going to go after the guy with an extract on a point. Blah 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 blah. But basically, it's a 2 point swing from this one character.
yeah.
Um, and that can
So
be really oppressive.
yeah, no, absolutely. So imagine like the scenario where there's like 3 people on a secure or something, right? And that means like one person just dies over the course of just being punched twice.
And you
Like
push the other 2 away.
you push the other two away and you win while stunning them. Like that's sucks, man. Like
Yeah, yeah. And if you're good at like, one of the skills as becoming a better player is learning when to activate. And Shang-Chi can more often than not, you probably activate him relatively last. And that kind of like closing to a turn, it's just devastating.
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate that the stagger trigger at least is on like facings that don't necessarily all help you out, you
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah, but you have that stupid card where you can change them, so you're gonna get it at least one round where it's really impactful.
right. Well, what I'm saying is like okay, either you just punch through raw successes, right? Just do a bunch of damage, or oh, I happen to get a shield and a crit. Now my consolidation price for not killing you is staggering you. You know,
Yeah,
instead, like it's a really like oppressive kit I think that
yeah,
he has. So I just wish that there was more caveats, like how many people he can affect, like at a time. So
yeah,
so if you have to punch one by person and one-ish punch them, like I think that would be a much better like experience for
yeah.
versus like him just sort of like displacing and stunning an entire team before they get the go.
Or even make it
Um,
2 power too.
yeah, you could
Yeah,
also do that. Also, I will say that someone mentioned this, and credits to whoever like what first said this is that why isn't 1 inch punch a range one effect? You know,
yeah, that's a good point. That could
like
also really help.
yeah, because the Bruce Lee one punch is because he does it at such a close range, right? And we really don't use the uh you know range one attacks like or effects like that often,
Yeah,
you know.
and we just talked about one of the characters, the only one I can think of right now that does it, which is Crystal. So,
Well, Electra has a spender that's also range one.
yep,
So it's
yep,
like,
yep,
yeah, it's
yep.
like Crystal and Electra. That's the only ones we can think of at the top of our head. Oh, Ant-Man punch as well, like when he's
Okay,
a small Ant-Man. But really, it's like you can count on your hands the amount of characters that actually have like effects within range one, basically.
yeah,
So yeah, that's it. Like I said, I think the defense stuff like is totally fine. It's just that the offensive like debuffs and displacement that he has like it's a bit much for the character. On top of already just doing like a solid damage and maybe even and doing staggers. So he's got control. He's got good damage. So like it should be slightly
and
less.
conditions. Like he's got it all.
Yeah, stun and stagger conditions are very backbreaking for like a
Yeah,
lot
if
of
he
characters.
had slow, then I'd be like, holy shit. you know, well, he's already holy shit. I don't want to like say that, but I just meant if he had slow in addition, then this kit would be
Yeah,
insane.
Yeah,
Um,
I just I just like it's rough whenever like someone is looking at their list. I'm just like, well, I should just put Shang-Chi in here if I just need someone that can punch people as a
yeah,
slash
he's
four.
the new Bill, to be fair,
And even
in
then,
some
like,
respects.
yeah. But I think you sort of take him for different places, right? Because
No, I know that. I'm just saying like that was happening a lot with Bill at the time in that game, in this game. I mean, and now it's like same thing. Another fourth rare character who it's like you almost like I think even in one of our episodes you were like, oh, I could do this, or even Matt, I don't know, someone was like, oh, I could do this, blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, but why wouldn't you just take Shang-Chi? Right. And that kind of like when you're having that logic already initiates this conversation where like this character is too much.
yeah, we know that we might be preaching to the choir because some people have already
Yeah,
like had these thoughts
we
at some
definitely
points.
are, we definitely are.
But I just wanted to shout that out. That's especially since we just got the Thanos and Thor like touchdowns, right? I don't think it's that crazy for Shang to eventually get a touchdown, of
Yeah,
sorts. So
yeah,
yeah,
so it's kind of a bummer you didn't get a pass because there's like, even if you just touch that 164 infinite palms or whatever it's called on the front side, um, five elements fist, like those two powers are the same thing, just a little different on both sides. um, like even if you just made the push size 2, that's even a good start. Right, so
oh, I don't know. Even if it was a push two, like that superpower would still be incredibly
no,
good.
I know, but like you know what I'm saying. Like they need to do something there. I think that's a good place to start is on the superpower, like making small adjustments.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of levers they can pull with 1 inch punch to make it more reasonable.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
my
And
pie.
10,000 shapes, to be honest, should be 5 days physical. It should not be 6. He's a fourth
Yeah.
threat.
I don't know. Like it's a range to attack, so like
The reason I say that is because he gets to choose the attack type.
oh, okay, I see what you mean there.
Yeah, yeah. So probably should be a 5 days there. But anyways, yeah, I think it's good to bring that. People already know this. I think it's just important to talk about like, what did you? I mean, we use broken characters, Jin. We play competitively. So did you feel bad that he wasn't? You know what I mean? Like, I thought he should have been touched.
Yeah, I mean, like one of the reasons why like I've been enjoying team tournaments so much is because like not everyone gets access to the same like pivotal four threat splash or affiliate piece, you know. So
Yeah, we didn't even take Shang-Chi as squad goals. I don't think any of us did.
no, that's because we're bad at this game. Orc.
I don't think we're that bad. We're like
No,
okayly
I'm
bad.
I'm just giving you shit.
Well, what was I gonna do? Splash Shang-Chi and fucking APOC?
Yes, no, that's fine.
But yeah, I agree. I think the team format really brings out like a more creative way to play.
Yeah, but I think it would be nice just to not have this be such a like it's like, oh, this is clearly a slam dunk, windmill slam character,
Yeah,
that you can just reach for whenever,
yeah. I'm not a huge fan of those in any game. So
Yep.
yeah.
Speaking of which, you want to talk about your first character?
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna talk about something we all know, and I'm how much time we spent. I know there are so many podcasts that have talked about this, so I guess I'll glaze over it briefly. I think Baron Zemo. Oh, this is so controversial too. I think Baron Zemo should have been touched. So he's been around since the starter set. If you're new to this game, new to our podcast, this character has literally been good for 5 years. 5 years, nothing's been changed off his card. Um, he just does too much damage, and he's too easy to manipulate leaderships with. Right, you throw him in a leadership that reduces his power. Now he's charging turn one. You throw him at long. You throw him in something that manipulates his dice. Now skulls, he can change to hits, and then he's getting more power for full rerolls, which you can also change to cabal is what I'm going with there. With he's just too good. Um, we all know Zemo. We all know him, especially from the Cabal Thanos days, where he just ripped because you could add dice to his attacks. And when he was injured, he had a 9 dice builder with full rerolls. Just saying.
Man. Yep.
So, yeah, I don't want to spend too long on him because there's there's not much to say. We've all said this before.
So
Um,
I guess where are you coming from? Because I may have different ideas of like how to like tone him down versus what you
Oh,
have.
how to tone him down? Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's a good conversation.
Yeah. Because clearly we know, like ever since I bought, yeah, like I said, when I first got in this game, I got the core box. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with any of these characters, but I am for sure putting this guy in like every list. Like, and this is before I bought any other models besides the core set models because like it's like this just seems like
Really
good.
good. Yeah, yeah. I remember this is a long time ago when I played my first MCP game, but at the time it was like Steve and Zemo, and actually Ultron was pretty good with just the starter set. I was in that context. Um, I mean, I always like to adjust power. I know AMG doesn't like doing that, so I'll be honest with you. I wish they did that a little bit more. Adjust power on superpowers. I think his charge should be 3, and I think Master Swordsman should be 3, and then I think he's probably fine.
Okay. So my thing is the fact that I think this character still chases incredibly well.
Yeah,
So I actually would start by
medium move.
medium move, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's also a really good call out.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, if you need him to be fast, at least like make it so that he has to do the spender, right, to get the extra movement to rotate to a point that he needs to get
Yeah,
through. The fact is, he can just move twice, like on his own, like walk then charge, and
and also have these motherfuckers read any of the comics? Zemo is like the worst character. He's like got the Namor problem, where they're like, "Oh, this character blows. Let's make him really fucking good." I almost like I know AMG is not GW, but I'm almost like convinced because it's like that similar logic where like really uncool models or really bad models have like the best rules. I'm like convinced there's boardroom meetings where they sit around and they're like, this isn't gonna sell. How do we make it sell? Oh, I know. Then the guy, like Nate or something, or Chuck, the game designer, comes and is like, just look at that card, baby. So,
this character just seems so pushed as far as like the consistency that he just has at the end of the
yeah.
day.
And to be fair, like this is really good game design. I am going to call this out. Maybe this is where they wanted to go with their 3 threats and they changed their mind or realized at some point in playtesting that this was like too much. but like this is from the starter box. This is like really a harking on kind of like the fundamental rules that makes a 3-threat good, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of impressive that this character had these rules at the very beginning of this game, and like over time, it's consistently been good, which means that the game design is actually pretty tight because the fundamentals of the game haven't changed. So he's still going to be good, right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that being said, he probably should have been nerfed 3 years ago. You know, so,
Probably, yeah.
yeah.
Man, I'm thinking of another thing. So like, okay, hear me out.
Mhm.
What do we think if we made the builder uh down to 4 dice, but give it Pierce?
Yeah, with bleed still.
Would bleed still, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that nerfs like just that change or like that in addition to
So
something else.
the reason is because like if you find ways to increase Zemo's dice pool, the Master Swordsman gets exponentially like just crazier, right?
Yeah.
So that's my thinking behind it. It's like we'll give you about the same lethality in the builder, but just so that it doesn't pop off as crazily, if you got more dice like add on top of
Well, on
that.
that same logic, I think then his builder like go 4, 4, 5, like Sword Strike 4, Steel Rush 5.
Um, no, I think Still Rush is probably fine. Like 6 dice, like I think is okay for the
Oh,
effect.
you were saying put Sword Strike down to 4.
Yeah, it's just Sword Strike down to
Oh
4.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. No, his builder. Thought you said Gainer or something. I don't know. Don't worry
No, no.
about
Yep. Yep.
it. Yeah, definitely. I think it's a really good call out.
So
Yeah, no, I
if
like that a
if
lot.
I were to make those two changes and he still gets everything that he currently has as current power gain, like still 2 and 2 as far as charge, counterattack, and Master Swordsman goes,
Yeah.
I think he would be fine because he becomes a force multiplier skirmisher character still.
Mm.
But he
I think
just
the medium move that you mentioned is probably the one I'm the most in favor of.
yeah, I think if you just put him down to medium move first and foremost, like I think that really stops a lot of the negative play experiences that he has.
Mm.
And then you have to really think about like it's like what is his position and role like and right now for me he just does too much. Like he can be an objective grabber, he can chase somebody down, he can just like rotate around points, or he can just body somebody, you know
Yeah, more than one person.
yeah.
So yeah, no,
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, so anyway, that's us beating the dead horse of Shang-Chi and Zima, unless you have
Yeah,
anything else.
but we did have to call them out. I do think that this was a really good opportunity for AMG to take a pass at them, um, and it's really kind of a big bummer that that didn't happen because we don't. The game is like I remember some pork roll guys uh, at Squad Goals. We were all saying like the game is like pretty fucking balanced right now. There's no big threat that's like oppressive after Thor 2, and even Thor 2 wasn't as bad as like previous big threats. Um, it's kind of like anyone's game, affiliation wise right now. So if they had just like touched a couple of these models, it would have felt like they were really trying to work towards some middle ground here. So
Yeah, if they want to see more diverse characters, we have to sort of look at least a couple of the characters that are really above the curve as far
yeah,
as their slots goes,
you can't. I guess like not you, but one in general as a gaming company, if you do care about your game competitively speaking, I think it's important to like address some stuff that's been out. Like Kazima's a really good example of this. The guy, it's not like they don't know, you know. He's been around for 5 years. Like something like what's the logic, behind that, behind keeping him as he is?
Yeah.
Um, if it's to sell starter sets, like the first ones, okay, but at least like just be honest about that. I guess even as a company, be like, listen, we're not going to update Zemo because he helps us sell our first product. I could get behind that if they were just clear about it, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
but I mean, there's still a way to make Zemo a good character. I mean, like I appreciate that AMG usually is a fairly light touch as far as nerf goes, and
oh,
the
they're
characters
super
still,
light touch. Yeah,
yeah, they're still very usable characters afterwards.
I agree. I'm just saying it's like there's a big why here. Like why? Because it's very clear that this character needs to be nerfed. But it is what it is. Let's go into more positive
Okay.
shit.
All right. Let me start the posi train here. Okay. So let's talk about War Machine. Okay. Do you remember War Machine, Bork? What does War Machine do?
He's got a blood beam, baby.
Yeah, he
I
does.
do remember because I looked at him for like a Dracula list.
Yeah. So yeah, he can put out bleed with his he's got a beam 3 gainer of 5 dice physical. So pretty solid. That means you can hit a bunch of people in a row and you possibly give him bleed. Um, he's got a 0 cost non-spender that just like it's range 4 dice physical. You just can attack multiple times with, as long as
He's
you're
like,
attacking different characters.
mm,
So it's like you get a shield throw but without any of the power gain, basically, but with guaranteed ricochet, if you can think of it that way.
if you want to think of it that
Wait,
way.
it's not as good because it needs line of sight. It doesn't ignore cover, etc., etc.,
Yeah.
etc. Okay. You also have empty the clip, which is a spender that is respectable. You know, range 3, 8 dice. Okay, for 4 power. You get to count your crits as double. But you will suffer 1 damage per
Why?
critical that
Why?
you have. He's got titanium armor plate, which is not as good as
Damage
Invincible.
reduction.
Yeah, but it's not as good as Invincible Iron Man's because Invincible Iron Man just reduces 1 damage period, where and you know, up to a minimum of 1. War Machine specifically says damage from enemy effects. You know,
Hmm.
so I
Interesting.
assume that's probably because like in case empty the clip gets ambiguous, it's like, well, if I suffer 2 damage from empty the clip, do I would I take just 1 damage if I had Invincible Iron Man's like like wording, like on the titanium plate?
Oh yeah, gotcha. Yep, that
Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
which is the case, I don't really have a problem with that. And he also just has flight, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's some things that I want to call out here. War Machine generates a ton of power because like the Beam 3, like, you know, as you play Crimson Dynamo and like any of these other Beam
Hmm.
characters, Vision, like you'll just get power very inconsequentially. Um, and but he doesn't have anything to spend the power on except empty the clip, which is an attack that can kill you. Okay. So I think there's a lot of little tune ups that we can do here to sort of like make this a much more palatable like thing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a weird kit, to be honest. Very
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. So number one, War Machine doesn't have any control either. Okay, so he just does damage, right? And that's all he does. And I'm okay with him just being the damage dealing Iron Man, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so in lieu of that, I was thinking that empty the clip could be the design it currently is, but instead of it, you just suffer, you know, a damage per crit. Maybe we just toned it down to just if you have any crits, you'll just
One
suffer 1
damage.
damage
Yeah.
afterwards, right? In line with what's happening with Clea and like other like characters like at the moment, you know, it could be 1 or 2 damage depending on like how unfair we may think empty clip is, but empty clip on its own just doesn't do that much, you know,
Yeah.
otherwise.
I mean, that's not going to make or break him either. You know, it's not going to make him doing that won't make him explicitly broken. You know, so I think it's a really good call out on his card.
Yeah, and Rocket Pods, like I don't know, Rocket Pods just seems like such an
They
outdated.
should just fucking make that what it is on everyone else's card. Gain of power, ricochet. You know?
Yeah, just it's a shield throw. Just make it
Yeah.
a shield throw.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
were they like were they like worried about him being, it seems like they were overly cautious about this model.
Yeah, yeah. I mean like Captain America's have a shield throw and control attacks. You know,
Yeah.
like all of them.
Taskmaster, you know, Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
like
Actually, I take it back.
Sam, I mean.
Taskmaster is the only one that doesn't have control on his
Oh,
card. But you
yeah,
know,
but he's got other defensive tech to like make up for it. So he plays a different role. But
yeah, exactly. So what I was thinking also was that we also want to give him something to spend his power on. So, and people, a common complaint that I always hear about the Iron Mans basically is that they're supposed to be a fairly mobile, like character as well. So I was thinking something along the lines of a reactive, some sort of like thrusters mechanic, where like
hmm,
if Iron Man or sorry War Machine was to be pushed, Give him something like Baron Mortar's like vaulting boots, and let him pay power to get back onto a point or something like, or get
Yeah,
after being pushed.
or maybe even like if this character takes damage, like a 2, 3 power superpower. If this character takes damage, he can move small away from the character who targeted him or something like that.
Oh well, no, I mean I was thinking that this is for him to like get back onto a point, or just let him go in any direction.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, 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 that makes sense.
Yeah. So like I'm a big fan of the way they glue up Gambit's like enhanced reflexes where he just gets to go anywhere he wants, you know.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking that maybe there could be something like that. So instead of like an attack or something, just have any push effect allow him just to move anywhere short afterwards. That way he can just sort of like keep moving to the point that he needs to be. And if
yeah,
you just need him to be a very sticky guy and an objective, you can do that because doesn't have any control on him.
yeah. That's true.
He just becomes a pain in the rear to just sort of deal with, you know?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's my design to Duck is just like make War Machine a sticky damage dealer. Um and like so that, it gives him a role versus like Iron Man, who, distinctly is a hard to kill guy that's able to push anybody. Whereas War Machine's like, well, how about instead of pushing anybody, it's hard to just push him off and let him like do damage instead.
Yeah,
So that's my pitch for War Machine, like
nice. I like it.
without overlapping too much with Iron Man. Because the easiest thing is just make him Tony. It's just like, well, what's the point of making Brody if he's just gonna be the same character? You
Yeah,
know?
no, you raise a good point there too.
Yep. All right. What do you got on your first person you
All
would like
right. Well,
to
mine
touch on?
won't be as constructive as Jin's because I honestly haven't read this card in a while, but I just know he sucks sometimes. So, my first one is Ultron One. I actually think like as is, he has like an okay kit. Um, oh, I know what I would do. I would just make his so yeah to go over it because you may or may not have seen him. This model sucks. This model is like the worst model to ever build it. You just need to redo the what do you call that the press or the mold.
You just want to redo the sculpt, period.
Dude, I mean that would make it a lot better to like play him. So no, the sculpt's great. They need to redo how you put them together. So that would be the
Oh,
mold. Um, but anyway, so I think like as a 4 threat, I really love. So he's got a strike, range 2, 6 dice. I think maybe the only change, and it's a gainer. I think the only change I would really make to his card is like make that strike range 3, 5 dice.
range 3, 5 dice. I mean, but
Gainer?
it's a gainer though. So like, you
No, you
know,
change that to damage dealt.
so you want to make that into a builder, like a more generic
Yeah,
like.
range 3, 5 dice builder. Um, and I don't think I would change anything else on his
But
card.
but I mean, why wouldn't you just do the energy blast instead then?
Oh, that's true. Fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, don't poke holes in my game design. So I'm trying to figure out. To be honest, it's been a long time since I put Ultron on the table.
Yeah.
I think yeah. Okay, so let's read through his card. So he's got the strike range 2, 6 dice. No gainer. And he's got the energy blast range 4, 5 dice. Wild incinerate damage dealt builder. Metallic Fury has 3 power spender, 7 dice physical, wild bleed, or you can make it energy or physical. He's got a 3 dice size 4 terrain throw at M, which is pretty solid for a 4 threat. And he's got all will be metal defending against mystic attacks. He counts wilds as 2 successes. And then he's got to analyze and annihilate. He can when he's attacking, he can re-roll one of its attack dice for each crit in the opposing defense roll. That's a really weird. Forgot he had this. That's a very weird one. They definitely got rid of that in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he was part of the first wave of like rebalances, right? So they were just like, well, maybe this will end up being like, well.
Yeah, and actually, after reading this all out loud on air, I think my first change would honestly just change analyze and annihilate to you get one reroll like for each attack. Once per turn you get a reroll for an attack.
Okay.
I would start there. The problem with Ultron I think is like You got a 6 range 2. You got a 5 energy range 4 with incinerate. I think the intention here is to be damage, like an attrition piece.
Yeah, so I think he's supposed to move around the board kind of honestly, like he's supposed to walk,
Yeah.
hopefully shoot you with an energy blast, do 2 damage, and then throw a terrain piece at you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think that's a very respectable turn, especially as a size 4 like terrain throw. So
Yeah, on a 4 threat, that's like really good, to be honest. And I've like considered him for Cabal because of that, because there's not a ton of throwing. I mean, there is and there isn't in Cabal, but I mean, maybe if you really wanted to, he's got 6 health. He's got 11 health, which is kind of flimsy. So maybe you take away you just make him count each wild as 2 successes in the defense roll, and he has some staying power. And then you kind of like take a little bit more of a passive attrition buff. So like you get rid of the mystic attacks and all will be metal, and then maybe you just give him 1 reroll, per turn for attack. I think that actually kind of like would make him pretty interesting.
hmm. Uh,
You disagree?
I'm trying to think because it's hard because he's got a 5 threat version of himself that's like a more realized version of himself, right? You
Right.
know.
But ignore that. That version is totally different. I do think because with the grunts and all that, it's just like it's a totally different character. So, what's Ultron One's role, especially in like Cabal? You want like a 4 threat who is like sort of mobile, like honestly, as you said, but like a medium move's no joke on a medium base. So,
Yeah.
you are using him mostly for attrition, but like you want him to stay around. So I think all will be metal, just making it counting wilds as 2 successes. Gives him some staying power at only 11 health. Like some 4 threats are 12, 13 these days.
Yeah.
I think that helps him out a lot. And then giving him a reroll. I don't want to like make him broken. So like a reroll once per turn on an attack.
I think with the Gambit glow up, I think like they're willing to do the counts like defenses doubles.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, if all the meta was just like, it just got rid of the attack type stipulation, just say, hey, any defense, right? You just get to roll 2, you get 2 successes for wilds. I think would be
Yeah,
fine.
and normally you roll on 4 dice, I actually really like that because he's 4-3-4, so you can even play around that as a someone going into him. If you want 3 dice, is you're way less likely to roll a wild than you are on 4. So you put your energy guy into him, and I kind of like that amount. His kit's not bad, like it's not terrible. So I do think like you get rid of that, and then he should probably have a reroll once per turn to make his attacks more consistent.
Yeah, I do like the flavor of analyze and annihilate, but yeah, just a very simple like just give him a reroll.
Well, that would just give him some more like again like these are 2 changes, 1 defensive, 1 offensive. That's just going to give him a little bit more consistency
Yeah,
because
and
he's not like traveling around. I mean, Red Skull so I'm thinking Cabal here. Red Skull 3 can teleport him 3, but you're spending resources to do that, so it's not like a terrible thing.
yeah, and depending if you still don't find that to be enough, I would say maybe just give him the 1 health also on his injured
Yeah,
side.
yeah. I'd like to see them start though with just the wild thing, even just give him some more staying power so he can do more consistent damage.
Yep, yep. No, I don't disagree. I think that would be a good place to start with.
Yeah, and that's Ultron. So it would be nice to see, on that kind of note, on a kind of side tangent, it'd be really nice to see them like. It would have been really nice to see them, I should say, change some of these starter box 1 characters and make them like relevant again. In
I
general,
I would agree. Yeah.
so he's just a good example of that. So now we can move on to the one that Stephen Maddox hates.
Oh, the original Human Torch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was playing Shield for a while, and I really did try him. And the only time I got him to work was when I could pair him with CGR,
Hmm.
because the idea is that you could pull your allies, and he was immune to incinerate. So
So
like,
I guess on that same note, before you get into his kit, we had In Maine, we had a local player, Rob, who played him in Mephisto a ton to try to get him to work. So
Yeah, similar idea, right? Like you take your immune to incinerate friends, right, and see if like the Ghost Rider would like pull up would make the difference, right, for
mm.
threat ranges.
Yeah, you see, I've never read the Human Torch's card, so
Oh, okay.
sure.
All right. Okay, so let's go over this card very quick. Okay. He's got 10 health, so 5 and 5. 3 threat, size 2, medium move. His defense are 3 physical, 4 energy, and 2 mystic.
I mean, that's not terrible for a 3 threat.
mm, Maybe. Okay. So okay, so he's got a gainer for to get powers. It's a beam 3, 4 dice. And with the potential to incinerate people on wilds. Okay, so that's his gainer. It's a beam 3 range 4 dice. His spender is wacky. So it starts off as a beam 2, 4 dice for 1 power. You can pay extra power into it, up to 7 more power, and you add 1 dice for each power additionally spent this way. So you can go anywhere from beam to 4 dice for 1 power to like beam to 11 dice for 8 power. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. He'll automatically incinerate anyone that he attacks, and then if you do damage, each after each of those attacks, Human Torch will suffer 1 damage.
Why?
Yeah. Again, like these spenders that are just killing these models, like for daring to like use them,
Yeah, they did
Uh,
stop doing that though. At least we haven't seen that in a long time. So
yeah. So we have Hidden Run, which is self-explanatory. He's got too hot to handle, so that's still one of the similar to Voodoo. It's a thing that can make an enemy drop an asset within range 2. Okay, for 3 power flat. So that's nice. It doesn't work on civilians, but it does work on assets. Um, and then he's got reactability that if you were to be pushed or thrown, you can pay 2 power and make that character suffer damage. Okay. Control Burn. When this character ends in advance, it gains 1 power for each character within 2 that with the Incinerate special condition.
I'm gonna say this right off the bat. On paper, he doesn't seem terrible. He seems like fine, okay.
hmm
Now tell me why he's pretty bad.
Okay. So the range bands that Human Torch wants to operate at is very close range. Okay. So if you think about the fact that his spender's a beam 2, his gainer's a beam 3, right? And he needs to get within 2 of people that are incinerated to get the additional power, and also be within range 2 to make them drop stuff. It means he's going to be up front most of the time.
Mm.
Additionally, he has a spender that does hurt himself as well. So for
Mm-hmm.
him, just using his kit, he'll be very vulnerable to just die, like most of the time.
Yeah, so he's kind of like a one-trick pony.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's like you have to be so diligent to like when to use him, and like he just never feels like he can. Like his kit like feels like he should go in, but he doesn't have the staying power to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
in.
But Jin, talk to me about a new age.
That card is such a trap. Like, okay, all right, no. Okay, New Age is really cool because like you can give a bunch of extra dice for energy attacks for shield characters.
mm.
So great for like characters like Hawkeye and like people that have like like Iron Man's like that have access to it. You can even be cheeky and do the initiative right and get a really huge blaster man like let's say Black Bolt or somebody right or Malekith like and allow them to like do like energy attacks with like extra dice etc. Not that I'm saying it's like the best idea in the world, but it's a thing you could do if for instance. um but New Age aside, like I think at the baseline, like uh, Jim Hammond, the original Human Torch, needs a lot of help.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I'm just kind of spitballing things, like speaking this out loud, you know.
Yeah, what would
um
you do? Give us the rundown.
So, okay. So if you're going to keep the kit, which is like he's gonna still operate at a range band, that he needs to be like close to characters, I need him to either stop hurting himself or have a way to get health back or reduce damage or something, in the
Yeah.
first place. So my my idea for this character is that you can keep him if we give him some sort of regen effect by sort of like taking away either ending those advances like within range two like or you could even do something like a blade effect, okay, where like instead of like having to do an advance and gaining power for each person within two, like each time you do an advance, just maybe let him end his activation and count the amount of people burning around him, and then you can just like get power and health back, for each person that's burning.
He's like the demo version of what Sunspot would have become.
Right, like do you feel looking at this card like we've learned lessons in designing Sunspot, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's almost, yeah. In fact, like there's even like a correlation between those two characters. I would say where it's like this is early game design. Sunspot's like a more developed, refined game design.
Yeah, exactly. So in that aspect, like I think if you were to make the least amount of changes to his card, I would change Control Burn to a very Blade or Dracula kind of effect,
Yeah.
and then have it so that maybe you also give him like one extra health.
If they
Uh,
did the Colossus glow up on him, though, I think like a slightly weaker version of Sunspot would be pretty cool too, like the with tokens.
yeah, I was thinking about that too. Like, would there a way for us, like, just like how like Hela and Kantu have like similar tokens, right?
Yeah,
Like, can we have flare tokens be a thing for Human Torch? You know?
that'd be really cool if they did that. And it would be also really cool, if they ever release like Fantastic Four or something, to have like Johnny have the same kind of flare token mechanic with all of them too. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think like if that's gonna pop up, maybe they just save it for Johnny. Like if that's like a
that's
thing.
true, but he does need some help, as you've
Yeah,
mentioned.
yeah.
So
So I think like I said, the things that would cost them the least amount of changes, because otherwise I think you need a much more extensive redesign.
yeah,
I would like him just to have more staying power. So like let's put him up to 6 threat, because he's a 3 threat with just one more health than normal, and the
yeah.
ability to just regain some health back.
Do you think even if they just gave him like damage reduction one to a minimum of one, it would help?
Yeah, they could do that. So in lieu of giving him an extra health, I would say just having a straight damage reduction one to a minimum of one from enemy effects would be totally fine
Yeah,
as well.
cool.
And that would make more sense because he's an android. So I don't know, man.
Dude, I
Like,
don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know dick about the Human Torch. When I found out that he was a character, I was like, oh, they already released the Fantastic Four. I forgot what like fucking Johnny's called, like his superhero name. I just know that Captain America plays him, and that they do a really good job in the third Deadpool movie of making that hilarious. So
yep, valid, valid. But yeah, no, Jim Hammond, the original Human Torch, is a completely separate character. No
yeah,
relationship to
I'm
Human
just not
Torch.
familiar with him. So yeah.
Yeah, all I know is that he is he's an
Wait. They're called the same fucking thing.
well, that's why they distinctly call this guy the original Human Torch,
Oh,
because there was this Human Torch, and then later on with the Fantastic Four, there was Human Torch.
okay. I'm
So
letting my Marvel like what I've read kind of like show here. It's mostly mutants. So.
I, I don't know much more than you do. So
Okay.
audience, please tell us what else
Yeah,
we were
send us
missing.
your comments and your hate and whatever.
Um, but yeah, so I think, like I said, they want to keep him in this brawly style. He needs to have the stats and the resources to brawl. So damage
Yeah.
reduction, health gain, more health. Any of these combinations, I think, would be
Or just
good.
completely rework them, as you mentioned, as the
Yeah,
other option.
but
Yeah.
that's much more work. I think.
Yeah.
Like if you just want to use the powers as is, he needs to be able to more safely operate at the range band that you want him to.
Yeah.
And if you give him DR, great. If you don't give him DR, I would even put his Mystic up to 3, honestly, and just like let him be just a normal dude.
Mhm.
So that's my pitch to fix Human Torch. I think if he just had more staying power, I think the kit becomes much more interesting.
Yeah.
I personally would love the advocate for the health gain, because then it would give more push and pull with things like Nova Burst, and that makes it
Hmm.
more interesting, in my opinion.
Cool. I like it. Cool. So our next one. So I put him on here because of the model. Um, and I know you, as a Wakanda player, probably have some more insight into why he's bad. Never put him on the table, but I. What the hell?
Are you
Hold on.
starting? Are you starting a party there, Bork?
The porno started. No, my Apple TV just started playing a. Jin, introduce this character.
Listen, the sound system knows that, the G is in session. Killmonger Usurper is enter the building.
The funny part is like I think our audio always cuts out background noise, so they might not be able to hear this. But 1 second.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, folks, let's talk about Killmonger Usurper for a little bit. He's the newest leader for Wakanda. He gives out his leadership gives out herb tokens up to 3 characters can get them.
Herbs. Okay,
Yep.
I'm back.
The herbs do a couple things. Either you use it during your character's turn to give them +1 attack dice for an attack, or if you save the herb token, I believe at the end of the round they will suffer a damage and get a power instead,
Yep.
and they lose the herb token.
Yeah. I've actually got beat by his herb leadership in like a really weird list by a pretty creative player. That being said, I don't think it's like consistent, but you know.
I actually really like the leadership. It's very versatile in what it does because you either
Should we
increase.
ignore the leadership though, for the sake of his character?
Sure, if you just want to talk about the character, not the leadership, right? Because I think the leadership is actually fine.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of a cool leadership. Um, okay, so again, I know I missed what you said. So,
I've only talked about leadership, so you can talk about anything else
oh,
that's on the
cool.
card.
No, so I put him on here because I really, I bought that $90 box to play King T at Everwinter this year, and the King T model is excellent. But I actually was way more of a fan of this Killmonger. It's like with the mask and him in that kind of position, it's like one of my favorite models in MCP. And so I kind of wanted to call out. I'm not sure why he's bad, and this was more like me putting him on here to have a conversation with you as to at least even just narrowing it down to like in Wakanda, in criminal, like why you wouldn't. Well, I can probably talk more about the criminal thing because I have played them a lot before, but like why would I don't know? Like he seems like he's okay on paper. Have you play tested with him or anything like that?
I think I've gotten to use them in one game so far, and so there's a couple things. One, Killmonger Usurper is not allowed to use usurp the throne.
Oh, really?
Yes, so he doesn't have access to the identifying like Killmonger card. Okay, which is not necessarily bad because that just means that there's less card opportunity like cost,
Mm.
in you running this character. Like you don't have to think about that being a part of your five.
Why?
Yeah.
I'm curious why they didn't. So, like, just looking at his base stats, right? 4.34, 6 both sides. He's kind of just as much of a glass cannon as Killmonger one.
He's got 1 more health on the injured side, and he's got better mystic defense, I believe.
Okay, it's not that big of a deal because that card's like an offensive card, anyways. So,
Right, and so what you're giving up from this version is that you no longer have a charge, right?
mhm.
And you don't have the extensive kill counts, like rolling bowling ball of momentum of killing
Yeah.
from there instead.
So
Um,
technically, with that defense, I think game design wise, I'm really liking that we're with every character we're also bringing up like intention of the character design because I think that's important to keep in mind when you look at some characters. You're like, well, what were they going for here? Did they nail it? Did they not?
yeah,
I do think maybe the intention here was like to make it a little bit tankier Killmonger, who does consistent damage but doesn't like spike and doesn't die as quick. So kind of like a more of a like I don't know mid game beat stick versus a like early game beat stick.
yeah, I would say so. So this Killmonger, I think, is like you're a little more comfortable putting on a midpoint as long as the matchups aren't like terrible.
Yeah,
Um,
as long as it's not like Guardians or something like that.
Right. Whereas the other one is like I said, very counterpunch or like first activation, just go and you remove an activation, right? With him.
Yeah, and then
So
he dies though. To be fair, so
and then he just dies. Yeah, it's a question of like when does Killmonger die, right? Not if he dies, you
right.
know. And Killmonger Usurper, isn't like invincible either, but he does have a couple of interesting things because he's got a spender that scales additional dice depending on how much damage you have, right? So he
Mm-hmm.
starts with 6 dice, and he can go all the way up to 5 more dice, so that could be an 11 dice like spender that he has. that they can't modify their defense dice towards.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty good.
yep. The covert armament's interesting, but he does have a long range gainer, which is nice. So he's got more sniping capabilities because the other Killmonger only attacks from range 2 builder and range 3 spender, right? So this one can reach on touch you from range 4, okay, which is nice.
And you still can't modify. Oh, only if you're within 2.
Yeah, and he also he has a pounce too. So like for instance, like you could do a counter move where it's like they go up to the midline, he walks up, throws his covert armaments, and then he can just pounce like onto the point,
Mm.
and that's like okay, he still has the vibranium weapons builder, which is fine. The thing that I think gives people a lot of confusion, I guess, is like they wish it was better was Untamed Force. So Untamed Force is a counterattack that he gets, like he gets an actual counterattack. So if they attack him and he's within 2, after the attack resolved, he can do a vibranium weapons builder into the attacker as well.
Yeah.
But because it's the range 2 limitations, you can play around this very easily just by making sure you attack him outside of range 2.
Yeah. Why don't they just make that? I guess like since we're on solving characters, like I think first step here, make that range 3.
Uh, I mean,
That could help
like
without
what?
changing his kit.
Are you talking about?
Untamed Force, just make it range 3.
Um, but it still specifies to
Oh,
use the
yeah,
vibranium weapons
yeah, yeah,
attack.
right, yeah, yeah. My bad. It's been a
You
long
know,
day and week in life. So,
I mean,
okay, you keep going, Jin. Ignore me.
okay. I mean,
This is my character, but fuck it. No.
I mean, what you can do is just say like, hey, after you can increase the range to range 4, and just say that you can use a attack that costs 0 power on this character.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's probably smarter than my idea.
Yep. The pie in the sky version would be given the same thing as Daredevil, which will let him do an aggressive move for 2 power and an attack.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that'd be cool too.
yeah, so like that would be like the best version of this card, but like either or I think would be good. I think if
I
they
mean, he's a
improve,
$45 model, so because like no one uses that fucking terrain piece. It doesn't have a back.
I cannot confirm or deny that I agree with this pricing statement, but
Make him slightly better, man.
yeah. So I think
He's a cool model, really. I honestly like I've never been more impressed by an AMG model. Um well, no, I think I was like I built him. I didn't expect much. I bought it. I bought the whole thing for King T, as most people do. And or a lot of people get it for prize support that we know. But I went and built a King T, and then I was like, I'm never building this terrain piece. It goes in my closet. I think I threw it out.
yep.
And I built him, and I was like, holy shit, this is a really sick model, kind of like Apex Predator Sabretooth. Also, amazing model.
Yep.
Just like a little bit, give him a little bit of love. Come on.
Yeah. So I mean, like he's made to take damage. Okay, so like, in the sense that he gives you a bonuses for taking damage, right?
Yeah.
So I think, like I said, if Untamed Force was just a little bit better, he would make a lot more sense to me, especially since he's also a model that doesn't have any control, unless you decide to use the there's a card
How do
that
you feel about him in Criminal, though? I think he needs access to usurp the throne in Criminal.
I don't think so. I think
Oh,
I think you can balance his character by making sure he doesn't have usurp, actually.
okay.
Um, and that's totally fine with me. Like I said, the Untamed Force just needs to get better and more usable. Once he has that, I think he becomes fine. Because the other card that you should consider taking with it potentially is the one that gives him access to a throw for the rest of the game.
Is that? Oh yeah, Kunluna's glory.
Let's see here.
No, no, that's not it.
We apologize,
Is
listeners.
it heart shaped herbs? Herbs? Yeah, there it
Heart-shaped
is.
herbs, I think so. Yes.
Oh, that's such a great card, actually.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I wish they did more of that. I kind of like that game design mechanic. Like, spend a power, gain something bad, and then you get this like cool superpower. It's
Yeah.
like APOC type stuff, you know?
Yeah. So rather than the you usurp the throne, I like this card a lot on him because like he has the health to have taken damage, then do a walk throw. You
Mm.
know,
Yeah, it's super cool.
yeah.
Um,
So yeah,
yeah.
my that's it. Like I think the kit's better than people think it is,
Mm.
but it does have a very obvious counterplay. Um, and I feel like Killmonger's not rewarded enough to make that counterplay so rough for him.
When would you this is my, I'm asking this literally out of personal interest because I love the model so much. When should I take what list should I take him in, Jin? You know my list. Well, besides APOD.
When should you take Killmonger?
Tell me where to put him.
Well, he's an affiliated Wakanda a
I
criminal
don't play
syndicate.
Wakanda because of the trauma.
Okay. Where, ladies and gentlemen, we're processing Bork's trauma live on
Yeah.
air
You should have
here.
seen my December and then you'd understand.
I mean, fair enough.
I don't think I won one game in like a 3 week period against your Wakanda list because I wasn't as good as a player back then, and I also just like King T was so oppressive to me.
Yeah. I mean, I assume he'd be good in Shadowlands and MODOK, personally, because the
Yeah,
rerolls, like in dice fixing, like help tremendously to make
yeah.
sure his output's good. Kingpin less so because I think you need an actual card to play before you can has displacement. And
I think if you're gonna bring a Killmonger and Kingpin, you're gonna bring the first one.
yeah, just to get that spike in 2 VP,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's that those would be the leaders I would consider taking him in.
I really
Um,
like the Modoc idea.
right? And
Yeah,
there are cheeky times where like maybe you can like shunt an attack into Killmonger and he'll counterattack as well.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
but I think he actually could be a pretty valid Wakanda leader if he just improved the kid just a little bit.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, could you ever, if you were gonna run his leadership in Wakanda, you think you ever just like try just making him kind of like a backline extract holder at that range and just like rely on that range 4 so you can keep your leadership?
at the same time, that's like Blade, right?
Yeah,
Just be on the back point, not do anything. And I feel like you need to just pick and choose his battles, to make sure that he feels like a fourth threat still at the end of the
yeah.
day.
But like, I guess that's not a bad game plan if you're gonna try to use his leadership.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like you can be a lot more proactive. I mean, you have
Yeah,
Okoye like in faction, so if you're worried that your character's gonna die, like you literally have a two threat that's there to take hits for you.
yeah, and you probably want a Koye like more centered around King T than anything. So
Yep, yep, yep.
yeah, I guess that's
Yeah,
a problem of having like a better model in affiliation. A totally different issue, but
yeah, exactly. It does open up nice things like, for instance, like Wakandans could like interact with like pay to flip and extract scenarios, right? That are those combos,
yeah,
and you have a little more power to work with at the cost of taking some damage.
yep, absolutely. But
So
so moving on from my character that you did, let's go to your next character.
I mean, what do you have any other like?
No, 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 no. I don't know that much about him. Again, I put him on there because I really like his model. So
Okay, all right. So all right. I guess that was technically kind of my
yeah, but like we both love Venom. So here we go. Oh,
yeah,
spoiler alert! But
yeah.
it's
Okay,
Venom.
I've changed my name to Buff Venom on Longshanks for a while, and I feel like I never actually got the platform to
You know
discuss
what my
the.
name is, Jin?
Is it Buff Venom?
Yeah, because of our team tournament. I was like, how can I be sort of related to Jin, but not at the same time? To be fair, I think Gwenna might need like no, she doesn't need shit. She's pretty good.
I think her only problem is her alias, right? Like I think
Yeah,
she's a very viable fourth threat. It's just that you're competing with Ghost Spider, which is maybe there'll be a list with everything that's coming out soon that will make Gwenom more
I think they should have
sense.
just changed Gwenham's. Yeah, I know where. Yeah, actually, this is a slightly good caveat. One sec, actually, before I say this on air. Um, yeah, her affiliation should be different. I think if they take her out of webs, make her criminal and maybe spider foes. Now we're talking.
That doesn't make any sense though, because Gwenom was never a villain.
Well, it makes sense for game design.
uh, Yeah, because I guess in the
But like,
audience,
okay,
I could be
comics
wrong.
aside, do you agree with that? Gameplay
No,
wise, no. Oh, fuck you,
no,
James.
no.
Go home. All right. Anyways, our real topic is Venom.
Yes, so good old Eddie Brock. Okay, so I mean, we don't need to like go over the card super hard. So, Bork, what do you think about Gwenom and where he's at the moment?
You mean Venom?
Venom, yes.
Um, my biggest concern, game over game over game over game, is that he's too slow. He
Yep.
can't rotate. His range 4 pull basically becomes dumb. And I do think with symbiotes, they haven't quite figured out how to really deal. They just like put the 2 energy defense, and I think that having that glaringly obvious weakness is easy to play around from an opponent's perspective.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, even Carnage at this point is a lot more mobile, right?
Yeah,
Than Venom. Um, I mean, to be fair though, he also is just in a straight attrition piece. He doesn't control like Venom does, which I think is the star
yeah.
part of his thing is the fact that he's got a super web line and web snare. Doesn't even need line of sight. You pull someone for medium, any size towards them, which is crazy.
For
Uh,
2 power too is just cheap as shit, to be
yeah,
honest.
which is really cheap for the effect. Clintar Rage, he's got a terrain character throw up to size 3 within range 2, then throw the
You know
medium.
what? It's not just the slowness. I'm rethinking this because I use him a lot in New Mutants.
Yep.
It's the slowness combined with your opponent's ability to play around him, like, and leave him on a point on himself. Like, if you make Venom commit somewhere, he kind of has to stay there. He can't rotate, you know?
Yeah, he has a very hard time rotating, which I you know like which really sucks because like he's affiliated in like what 2 places? Like it's just Spider
Foes
Foes,
and Web Warriors,
which
yeah.
which are both like pretty objective based like teams
Yep,
actually.
yep,
You know,
yep.
so
I think, yeah, we haven't gotten into this, but I do think the easy change is a 2 place
range 2 place.
for like 2 power.
So man, we're getting to the point where like I think there'd just be like there's almost too many superpowers on this guy.
Yeah.
Uh, So, but okay, yeah. So like, yeah, the normal things I hear is like, hey, make him a medium move, and or give him a range 2 play, so he feels like he has like a web swing, for his base size.
Yeah, I was going more with the web swing route, to be honest, but yeah.
Yeah. So here is my thought, Bork, and let me spit at you what this idea instead.
All right.
All right, why don't we make symbiotic tendrils an ambush move, or a
Like I hit,
or a
move small.
pursuit move? I would say,
Yeah,
either of
no, I
those.
like that too. That also solves some issues, especially late game. I think his biggest issue is like late game.
Yeah, yeah. I personally, would love like a Rhino effect, but obviously that's too powerful, probably. So
Can you imagine?
yeah.
Yeah, because
So
he
instead,
heals. The biggest issue, the reason why we're saying that, listeners, is because, well, A, he has access to lethal protector,
yeah,
and B, um, because he heals on We Are Venom. So yeah, I agree. I think it's a little bit too OP.
yeah. So I'm thinking a pursuit would make sense because the thing is like
With a
Venom,
trigger, right? Like a hit trigger or
like
something.
either yeah, like a hit trigger of
Yeah.
something. So it's not necessarily guaranteed, but 5 dice you should probably reasonably be able to get a hit most of the time.
Yeah, I think hit trigger is probably the best trigger for that one in particular.
Yeah, and part of that is what I'm thinking is that in the theme of like AMG like wanting to be thematic, I never really consider Venom like thematically to be such a like a slow piece, right? Like in any sort of fiction that you
No,
see him in, like
he
he's
grabs like buildings by stretching his fucking arms out. You
right,
know?
right. So he should be pulling himself towards the character, right? And like
Yeah.
or like he's in pursuit because he's an aggressive character. So why not reward him with movement for attacking?
Yeah, I think so. I will say something that I'm kind of noticing with his design. I think they really wanted to try. I guess like the intention here is to make him like not quite a web warrior, right? because he's got like a lot of the tools, so they're like, oh, let's throw a pull in there, instead of like you know, what also would be a pretty cool or solid move is just like making him M move with like Ben's power.
Oh, the elusive.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's not too OP. It pulls people. It still gives him the displacement options, and it still allows him to like move twice, pull, and give Spider. And honestly, I'm thinking about Spider Foes here. It gives Spider Foes a damage piece that like has a lot of staying power, has a lot of attrition. Foes need help. Like they're like the knockoff Web Warriors with 4 threats. They need a 4 threat that you always take besides Doc Ock. You know?
I mean, that's not necessarily true. I think a lot of spider foes would disagree with that assessment because like a lot of the four threads are very usable, honestly. Because
No,
you
I
have
know.
yeah. So I just want to make that distinction. I don't think they're suffering from having not good four threats because I think there are actually a lot of good four threats like in spider foes.
I just think they need a. I don't know. Sean's probably gonna give me shit for saying this because he listens to this, and him and I talk a lot about foes because that's his like faction.
Hmm.
And I guess like the problem sometimes with foes is like they're a kind of less efficient web warrior faction because of their 4 threats, like you said. They have a
Yeah.
lot of 4 threats. It's a very crowded spot. So like I don't know. We don't even have to talk about specifics. Give Venom a reason to like be in the roster most times.
Yeah. And so I think that if we need to improve the at least the builder just needs to be able to like give you reasons to move around, which also makes
Yeah,
him very dangerous because like if he does so many snacks and hits you with the builder,
he gets a move.
he gets to
Yeah,
potentially
I
move
like that.
again,
Yeah.
and that becomes very interesting. Now to balance this out, okay, uh, I do want to also nerf web snare too to make this fair.
Like range 2 or something, or range 3.
No, just make it a once per turn period. Like you can't web
Oh
snare
yeah,
multiple
yeah.
characters. Just let's attempt it once per turn. I think that puts away a lot of the feels bad. In case Venom just gets like a whole bunch of power and just starts like yanking everybody off of
Yeah,
Sapir.
no, because you're right. Because like if we fix a problem being mobile, then the web snare becomes Gwen oppressive.
Yes, and this is a super Gwen like
Yeah,
like like snare.
yeah,
Like so, because here's like also justified too, because from a displacement standard, you have both Web Snare and Clintar Rage. Okay, so you have two sources of displacement on this character already.
and one
So
does damage.
and one does damage
Yeah.
potentially too. Like so I don't think you need to have Web Snare hit multiple characters.
Do you
To
think they should have just gotten? I don't know. It feels like they're doing too much here now that we're like really analyzing
well, so
it.
so the other thing, so this is my other selfish thing that I would like to have is that I want symbiotic instincts to have a rule similar to Shuri, where if you roll a skull in your final pull, you get a power.
Mm. Yeah,
So
because to be fair, he's also like relatively power starved. He doesn't generate a ton.
right, because like the attacks he does aren't like super consistent, but he does prevent you from rolling modifying your own dice. But
Yeah,
it's still 5 dice at the end of the day, so like it's not like the craziest thing. As far
yeah.
as like doing damage goes. So I was saying this because like I think it'd be an interesting foil to Peter Parker's Amazing Spider-Man version where he gets power for doing crits, right? So as of negative the yin and yang of that character.
Jin, I don't want to step on your toes here, but it's pronounced Yang.
I'm sorry, Mandarin Master Bork.
Okay. All right, we'll
So
talk about this offline because that's hilarious.
did that guy just correct the Chinese guy about?
remember the ABC thing we were talking about?
We are, yes, yeah. Uh, listeners,
Anyway,
I hope you're enjoying this.
they are. That's why they listen to us. Like
Yeah,
what we say doesn't matter.
that's true. So
Yeah,
so for the yin and yang
Yang.
of Amazing Spider-Man, I think it'd be very interesting if Venom had something that where like if you screw up and get a skull dice result, you'll get a power.
Yeah,
This does help power the fact that like he needs a ton of power for his kit, and his builder is not up to the task a lot of times to actually generate that power.
yeah, absolutely. Um, he was pretty solid, like in New Mutants, when I could make him a little bit more mobile. Like he was like pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
Him and Black Dwarf, I was running in New Mutants for a while, and they were not, not the best. I mean, it's the problem really is you can play around Venom pretty easily.
yep.
You just rotate. It's like cool, you have that secure. I'm going over here. So, because of that natural S move, unless you're playing, I don't know, typically on a mission you don't pick up an extract with him. Most of the time, sometimes you do, but
Yeah, but the more I'm playing this game, like I think currently the way you play him now is that you probably should just like double walk and pick up something just so that the enemy has to interact with them, you know?
that's true. That's true. Like force their hand. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I apologize. We missed the fact that I should have given tips on how to play War Machine and an original Human Torch
Oh,
from before. Um, okay, let me just quickly go over that since we're talking about
yeah, you
these
got it.
characters. OG Human Torch. There's no better way to say it. I think you probably play him under Fury's leadership most of the time, or in a movement based uh, anything that gives you free advances. It's probably going to be Nick Fury most of the time. They generate the power, and then hopefully his best turn is he walks up, makes you drop something, pick it up, and then you just go away. He had a much better role when Demons Downtown was in the list because then he could safely stand on an objective and not be incinerated. But he might still be relevant in things like a Mephisto matchup or something nowadays. Um, as opposed to War Machine, I will just quickly say that because he generates a ton of power, he actually is a great partner for Iron Man in the sense that you can use him as a Helios laser battery, or if you're running Invincible Iron Man under Shield, he's happy to pay for the rerolls under Shield because he is a Shield affiliated character under Invincible Iron Man. So those are the two places I think I could see War Machine at the moment.
nice.
Okay. So, all right. Anyway, back to Venom. So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking is that I think movement, a little extra power drain, and then reducing his displacement like ceiling, I think would be a good place to make this character make sense as a web warrior,
Hmm.
and still also be very
Ah, I actually was sitting here wondering what perspective you're thinking of making Venom better under, and
yeah,
you
because like
revealed it.
he doesn't play any of
I don't want him to be a web warrior, to be completely honest with you. I
well,
want him
okay,
to be better in foes.
but with these things and foes, I mean, he's also very good at chasing web warriors down and getting them.
True, true, true.
So I'm just saying he should be a pursuit character, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't disagree with that.
Yep. So
Um,
yeah, that's my pitch for Venom. Buff Venom, please, AMG, please buff
Off
Venom.
Venom, motherfucker. No, plus like I don't know how much we're gonna talk about Punisher because we're going pretty long. Um, Venom's an iconic character, like a really, really iconic character. Like to the point where he's up there with like, excuse me, he's up there with like, I don't want to say Captain America, but he's up there with like Magic. He's up there with like, um, APOC. He's up there with like, even
Yeah,
maybe more than APOC, to be honest.
honestly, he's probably getting closer to like a Hulk status, or
Yeah,
something like
he's
that.
a very iconic character. And in fact, like, I mean, they've done 3 movies with Tom Hardy based on him. I'm not saying they're great movies, but they're there. Just give him some love.
Yeah, no argument there.
Yeah. So, buff Venom, buff Gwenom. Just make her broken. That's all I want.
All right, shall we talk about Frank Castle, the Punisher?
Okay. Right off the bat, I always say this. I guess online. I have like 5 or 6 favorite characters ever, and the Punisher is one of them. And he also has like one of the best Netflix shows that ever created. I know I'm just like bringing up these characters, and then Jin's filling in the game design. But
uh,
no, I mean, just make Punisher better. he's got running through his kit, he's got hip fire. You're kind of normal. Well, no, it's not even normal. It's range 3. It's not range 4. It's technically like a ricochet rapid fire attack, but it's range 3 instead of range 4. So for some godforsaken reason, which I think, like, just right off the bat, just make that range 4. Keep everything as is.
Oh, I don't know. The fact it has automatic rapid fire would make it very silly, Bork.
Yeah,
Like,
but he's the Punisher.
you can't just because he's Wolverine, because he's Superman. You can't just like like
Well, that's how my logic is. So,
like because he has consistent rapid fire. It's like he's the fastest guy with sniper rifles.
well, have you listened to like previous episodes where I talk about making him a 16 threat? I don't know if I said that on air. So what I really want to do to the Punisher is just change his hip fire to an 8 dice. Get rid of his spender. Just get rid of it. Get rid of everything else on his card. Just make him a 16 threat with unlimited rapid fire at range 5. One bullet's all you need, bro. Like, this is the Punisher. It's Frank Castle. He's like, lock and load, motherfucker.
I don't know. The implication of unlimited rapid fire means that you need more than one bullet, Mork.
No, he curves it like Neo.
Oh, so it just keeps going around.
Yeah. I forget. No, I think Kenny and I, a friend of mine who I play with, not anymore, but I'm sorry, Kenny. It's been so long, like a month. But we had a long discussion about my 16th. No, I did say that on air. My 16th threat Punisher. An army of one.
Okay. So can you okay. What okay, so let's before we would go over the card, I guess, like what do you think is lacking as far as like what makes him not feel like the Punisher?
If you're getting serious, god damn it, Jin. I don't want to be serious. It's
You
Friday.
literally
like
told me that it's okay.
Okay. So I'm just busting your balls, Jin. Like, take a joke.
I know. I am taking a joke.
So Blood Red and Personal is why I've wanted to bring him, to be honest. I want him to kind of play the role where you use that card. I like that it's 4 power. I even would say maybe you bring it up to 5 if his card got like reworked. But each time an enemy character is KO'd, the controlling player gets a VP, and it's not even by Punisher.
Okay.
So I think you bring that up to 5. You bring that kind of card in, and you just like increase the cost on some of his stuff. But that being said, that's kind of like a win con, right? It's a win condition, or at least a spike condition, or you're really behind. So what I think they really need to do is make his punishment tokens like work kind of effectively. Because right now he can discard punishment tokens. How does he gain them?
So
when another character's days are KO'd, he gets a punishment token. He gets 3. And you can discard them to add a dice to his attack roll. But it can only be used once per turn. He's got Spec Ops training. I think they should give him the Nazi thing. Whatever Winter Soldier has.
Can you be more specific? Because the listeners may be miffed about what you mean by the Nazi thing.
That dumb place within 1 of someone, within 2. What's it called? I don't know the name.
Hydra Tactics?
Yeah, Hydra Tactics. Yep. Yeah, I guess the more I'm talking about this, the more I'm realizing that this character needs like kind of a full rework.
Okay. So Frank Castle does not strike me as a particularly a control piece, right? I think he is a damage dealing character. Would you agree?
The problem that throws that off is that the tactics card is one of the best in the game.
The Blood Red and Personal.
Okay. It may not be the best in the game. I think it's A tier tactics card.
Okay.
You spend 4 power off of him in the power phase. Each time an enemy character is KO'd this round, you gain a VP. so it really punishes. It's a super attrition. Really like it for like mid game to like catch up or to pull ahead.
Right.
Are you not like a fan of that?
Because I looked at Silver Sable's card like for a while, and it's like a similar kind of deal, right? So it's like so Saber International is like kind of similar, where like you play this during her activation. Every time she dazes or KOs a character, you get a
But
VP.
it's not Frank Castle. During the power phase, an allied Punisher spends money to play this card. And then the second clause is each time an enemy character is KO'd, the character's controlling player gains a VP. So it doesn't have to be him who's doing the killing.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true, yeah.
And I think that's like really good. Problem is A, he doesn't gain power, which I kind of like because I do think the design was keeping the card in mind.
I mean, I think he gets power actually pretty okay because, like I said, the
Hip
rapid fire,
fire, yeah.
hip fire is automatic. So every time you fire with it, you pretty
Is
much
he
get
not that
50 power.
bad? Like the more I'm reading this, the more I'm like, wait a minute.
Because I'm gonna say, man, like I don't think he's as bad as you think he is.
Yeah, yeah. So to be fair to myself and to our listeners, we put this list together pretty quick, and I was like, well, I've always wanted to use the Punisher, and I haven't used him, so let's put him on there. No, I actually think he's pretty solid.
Yeah, like the cards aren't
Why don't
bad.
we see him though?
Why don't we see Frank Castle?
Yeah, I guess that's a better question.
Okay, so he's only affiliated in Defenders, right?
But
So,
isn't he? Oh, he does not have. Okay, Oh, Defenders. Interesting.
yep, which makes sense because he hangs around, pals around with Daredevil and those guys, right?
Yeah, but now I'm thinking with the new Strange changes, he might actually be a nice piece.
Correct.
Okay, so ignore Frank Castle. We just wanted to bring him up.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything actually like in the kit that is kind of wacky.
No, it all looks good from my angle.
Yeah, I mean Warzone's good because it's like Mystiques where like you just blow up something and it's not collision, they just take 2 damage
Did I just
automatically.
pull a Maddox where I brought up a character that didn't fit the category?
I won't tell Maddox.
He's probably gonna listen to this.
Shh. These are details, Borg. Details.
Yeah, no. Okay, so changing the topic for a second, let's talk about why Frank Castle should be used more.
Yeah, I mean he's 333, 11 health, which is respectable for someone that's going to be mid range, like interacting with the enemy. You know, um,
Yeah,
he probably wants to be in cover somewhere, right? But able to hit people. That's the idea. Um, and the spec ops training is nice because it lets him get in the range, right? So you can be like range 4, a little bit outside of range 4, and you can use that to get in and then just be able to hip fire like 4 attacks into somebody.
yeah. Or if you're playing really conservatively, you can spec ops up, hip fire, move.
Yep, yep. Um, yeah, you can also hip fire.
Should we have put him on like the previous episodes? Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to tell you because I thought that would
Oh
motivate her a
no.
little bit.
I mean, here's the thing. Like you get so fixated sometimes on like characters that you're like really into. Even some of your favorite characters, like Punisher, I love him. It's just like I don't know. Like I haven't thought about him in a long time, and then I was like, oh yeah, Punisher. He probably needs to change because I don't see him that much. But he's actually really like his kit. So
Yeah, it's definitely not bad. And as the game progresses and you get those punishment tokens, like you are potentially looking at like a 10 dice spender from range 5 that can pierce and stun and slow, which is not bad, right?
yeah, and if you're putting your opponent like say end of turn 2, you got like 2 characters on 1. Spending 4 power for Blood Red and Personal, it's a really solid way to like possibly bump up 2 VP.
Yeah, you can win the game like in middle because it doesn't stipulate that you have to be like behind on points or anything, right?
No,
Like,
no, no. Just spend 4 in any character that and whenever an enemy character, whether it's your fault or not, is KO'd. So you could even do that on like Spider Infected
mhm.
to like tie or something. Like say a Webs player is like one of his characters is holding 2 and they're on 2 health, they're going to die, but then you're like 2 behind. You can like tie and force another round. Like, it's a very good card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so long story short, Punisher's pretty dope. I especially like him under New Strange, though.
Yeah, I think the play rate for Punisher should, people should give him another look.
Yeah.
If range defenders are now back
Jeff,
into,
looking at you.
yeah, you figure if you attack somebody 4 times, probably one of them you should be able to do damage to get hex on them, right?
Yeah, and then like with Stephen Strange's defensive tech, Punisher becomes just like a fucking mid-range nuisance.
Yep. So yeah, I don't know. Is there something you would change on him otherwise?
No.
Because like I said, you could make his gainer like further range, but I feel like it's kind of good where he is. Because my envision him is like the hip fire is when he's dual wielding 2 guns and just laying into somebody like spray and pray.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the imagery that
No,
I get.
Honestly, Jin, this was like probably one of the biggest on-air mistakes I've made. So thanks for calling me out.
You're welcome. It's because we love you. That's all.
It's because we keep asking if you're okay. No, I mean, like, yeah, and he's got a pretty good kit. That's such a funny thing about MCP is like I get like these impressions in my head about kits. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, oh yeah, we should put them on like this. And then even in my private like home or whatever, I'll like be putting together a list and I'll be like, oh, I know they're bad. Implicit bias, I guess, is what that is. So it's like, oh, I know they're bad. Like, I heard they're bad, or no one uses them. And then like reread their card. I'm like, oh shit, there's some shit here.
Yeah.
I do think, especially with the new Stephen Strange changes, I think Punisher's like someone I kind of want to put on the table.
Yeah, I think if anything, people always complain about maybe survivability, but he's a 3 threat with 11
he's
health.
A 3 threat, exactly.
Like plus, it's fine.
Plus, under Strange now in Defenders, he's got 5 dice on shit, So
yeah, and heals, right? So the 6 health on his front side does allow him more opportunity to survive the 11-1, and then Strange being like, "Yep, we're just gonna All Stars Refuge." Yeah, and you're just gonna be
plus,
back.
As you mentioned, like, so he can sit on like a fucking backer point, push himself S, attack. And if you're really concerned about him dying, you pull him back. If you're not, and he's close to Strange, holds that midpoint, gets extra defense dice, and then like the guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah. Yep.
So
it's not bad.
Which is how Frank Castle should be. He's fucking Frank Castle, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can add this in your head to the last couple episodes where we talk about underrated characters. Frank Castle's up there now.
Yep.
There were some that we missed. I remember we were going through and we were thinking about them. And I was like scrolling through characters, and I was like, "Are there any here that we should really put on here?" I now am like retroactively saying that Punisher should have probably been on there.
Oh yeah, as far as like characters that are underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
next week's episode we'll do underrated characters part 3, and
with just Punisher.
We'll start with Punisher.
We'll spend an hour and a half talking about Frank Castle.
Yep.
My kind of episode.
But there probably are other characters we've missed as far as like characters that do need a touch up.
Of course.
I would say as a whole, we need to just relook at Black Order as a whole. Yeah. But that's probably a discussion for another day on that.
Absolutely. And I agree. I do think they're a little lacking. So.
Yeah.
Cool. So that being said, we will start to sign off. So follow us on Instagram, at AliveOn1. Our Discord is really where it's at. As we said last episode, join our Discord. The link is below. Email us at aliveon1@gmail.com. RSMP will be ramping up. GameStore Guardians, give them a listen. There are affiliate podcasts. Willen's going to hate that. And I love it so much.
But it's not untrue.
I know. Well, we're close proximity, so we're covering the whole Northeast. We're kind of like New England, and then they're, down towards Jersey and New York City. So
yeah, more tri-state, like from there,
And then we're the Northeast. So, if you listen to both of us, then you're covering basically Virginia up. So.
Yep. I should also mention that we did film something at RSMP recently.
Oh, nice.
So look for that whenever I have a date. I will definitely let you guys know.
Awesome. Um, Leave a review on Apple and Spotify or wherever you prefer to listen. Our affiliate link for Huge Miniatures is below. And Jin, I'm going to get rid of this last point. You Godspeed us out.
Okay. Godspeed, Frank Castle. Good night, everybody.
Nice.